It's taking a minute. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are super excited to have our Black Friday panel here today, and we're really excited to talk to all these amazing retail experts and course creators, and hopefully get some really, really amazing tips and ideas for you guys as you head into Black Friday and beyond into your holiday season. So I'm super glad that you're all here. Before we get started, I'd love for you to just tell me who you are, where you're from, what your store name is, and if you have any questions at all for our panelists as we go through, just be sure to pop them into the comments. And Indy's going to be grabbing the questions for our panelists as we go through, and we will have time to do Q&A after each one of them talk a little bit about their areas of expertise. And so and just in general, we have a lot of retail talent here on the panel with us today. So if you've got questions, definitely feel free to to pop your question in and let us know. So before I'm going to just talk a little bit about who we have on our panel today, and really, really excited to welcome these amazing people. First of all, we have Bob Nagan from Whizbang Retail Training. Hi, Bob. My husband, an amazing business partner. And Bob has owned his own independent retail store for 19 years, actually a chain of independent retail toy and kite stores. He owned that business for 19 years. And then now together, he and I have Whizbang Retail Training. And we have been doing that, working with independent retailers for, gosh, honey, 25 years now. Can you even believe it? How
I
did that
can.
happen? Yeah. Does it feel that long? Okay.
No, time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so we're really excited. We're really excited to have you on the panel, Bob. You've got a lot of
Thank
amazing
you.
retail expertise to share. We have Dean Correa coming in from Canada. So from Correa Security Associates. Did I get that right, Dean? Close?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
close. It's okay.
Good. Dean is a security expert, and he's worked for some amazing retail companies like Walmart and Starbucks. And I'm going to him give you the whole rundown in just a minute. But suffice it to say, this guy knows what he's talking about, really understands security in a retail store, how to protect your people, protect your assets, protect your business. And so we're really excited to hear what he has to say about how to do that during the holiday season. What are some of the things that you really need to keep in mind as you're moving into the super busy time of the year? We have Beverly Cornell from BC and Associates. We're really excited to have you, Beverly. Beverly's a marketing expert. She's worked with some of our top clients, and she really has a keen understanding of how entrepreneurs, how small business owners like you guys really have different kinds of marketing needs than like the big guys. So she's very keyed into that. She's going to be talking about some fun ideas for Christmas and the holiday season coming up. And then we have Dan Holman from CRS. He is a super expert in inventory management and point of sale systems in all things retail. So we're excited, really excited to have Dan from CRS here today with us as well. So guys, we're just really, really excited. And here's what we're going to do on our panel today. We're going to let each one of these fine folks have a little bit of chance to give you some ideas, some tips and tricks, and share their expertise around holiday. And like we said, from Black Friday and beyond. And then if you've got questions, please go ahead and you can put your questions in chat if you've joined us on Zoom, or put them in the comments if you are watching us live on Facebook right now. Either way, we'd love to have you put your comments, put your questions, give them a thumbs up, and give them some support when they're being awesome, as I know they will be. So, Indy, do we have anybody who's shared who they are and where they're coming from today? I think I saw
We
Elena.
got Ernest watching from Maryland, and it looks like everybody's still piling in right now.
Okay, I saw Elena, Stanley piling in. We've got a bunch of other people, so that's great. So Beverly, we're gonna start with you today. And like I said, you've been a really it's been really fun to see your work with some of our top clients at Whiz Bang Retail Training, and just kind of see the things, the tools that you've developed and the processes that you've developed for independent retailers. So today, tell us a little. You can start by just telling us a little bit more about yourself, and then tell us what you're going to be talking about today.
I will. Thank you so much, Susan, for that wonderful introduction. I love working with some of your top community members and masterminders. It's super fun. I was thinking about this when you talked about 25 years of retail and some of that. Like, I've been in retail since I was started to work. Generally, I started at 13.
too.
I worked for a dance studio, so I was like the receptionist there. So many years ago, I won't say how many that's been now, but lots of years. And my family owns ice cream stores, and I just always have been around small business, and it's really important. It's the lifeblood of our communities. A lot of the things you and Bob talk about. And I know we're going to learn a lot from the panelists' discussion today. There's a lot to explore. But today, I really want to talk about creative ways to connect with your customers and maximizing the season's potential. And hopefully you'll walk away with some actionable ideas from each of us.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, to make this holiday season really memorable and also strong for your business. As Susan said, my name is Beverly Cornell, and I specialize in helping purpose-driven entrepreneurs awaken the hidden magic in their brands so that they can make a lasting impact in their communities and, dare I say, the world. I work with
because it's what we try to do too, right? I love it.
I work with heart-centered businesses, those who want to bring more kindness and joy and wellness in the world. So this holiday season can be a really powerful time to create memorable experiences and deeper connections with your customers. Holiday bundling allows brands to offer value in a way that feels really special, can be intentional, purposeful, and aligned with your mission. So it's not just random, let's put a few things together. By bundling products or services thoughtfully, you're not just increasing sales, you're creating a brand experience that clients will remember long after the holidays. So today I'm just going to share a few ideas on how bundling can help you bring your brand's value to life. So we'll look at some examples from some of the people I work with. And also we're going to talk about some pricing strategies to maximize the value without heavy discounting.
Yay, we like that. Yeah. Keep that margin up.
You don't have to do that for these kinds of this kind of a promotion. And I know that I'm just getting us all started, and I know that the panelists will have lots more to share with different aspects of this. So let's dive in. The first thing I'm going to talk about is how the holiday season is all about creating connections, and bundling allows brands to offer convenience and added value. A well-crafted bundle can boost sales and deepen relationships, encouraging clients to explore more of what your brand offers. So one example is a pet food store. The Pet Bistro is a company I've worked with for about 13 years. They're in the Whiz Bang Mastermind group, and they've created, I have a Thanksgiving example here, but you could do this with Christmas or you can apply it to any holiday essentially. We created a Thanksgiving feast bundle for pets. So it showcases how really bundling can add value while also staying true to a brand's mission. Our bundle focused on their core product. So they sell raw pet food and included an appetizer treat and a seasonal toy. And to create even more value, they partnered with some of their vendors to add a few free samples as a dessert, making the bundle feel more even robust and exciting. The retail value of this Thanksgiving feast bundle was $65, but they priced it, this is a discount option, they priced it at $29.99 because a couple things. The vendors chipped in, so their actual cost was much less. And they wanted to make it feel like a really substantial holiday deal. So they built a lot of excitement around it, and they also created urgency. They offered it as a limited time bundle with a buy date. So all orders had to be in by 11/23 to encourage early shopping, and created a bit of what I love, FOMO, the fear of missing out. This approach not only drove the sales, but also gives the customer the sense that they're receiving a really high value item and it's completely exclusive to their store and for their pet. So
Well,
I'm just
which
gonna,
I just want to like comment on that. I love that it's exclusive to their brand.
yeah.
Like no, you can't get it at Chewy or Petco or whatever those big boxes are. Love it. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, so there's kind of a bark box probably, but not exactly theirs because it's raw focused and it's very much about their brand and their core product, which is what they're known for, which we wanted to make sure is the center of all of their bundling and options for them. So they continue to be known for their raw pet food and other things that they offer. The other thing about that that's really cool is a lot of times customers would come in and only buy food. And by putting an appetizer and a dessert and a toy in the package, you are offering the ability for your clients to try other things in your store. And those other things for her are high margin items. So if we can get those clients in to try those high margin things, that's an amazing boost to her profitability. So here's an example. I'm just going to hold it up so you can see what it looked like. I don't know, it's kind of fuzzy, sorry.
No,
But
that's good. We like it.
it was just put in a little box with a special label on it, labeled cat or dog. And it was really quite simple, a little fun tissue paper in there to make it a little bit festive. But again, you could do this for Christmas, Valentine's Day, like any kind of holiday theme to make it a real cool product bundle that just makes sense, but also is super fun for the holidays.
You know, and one thing that I love about it, two things. I love that they pick their core products. I think that's because there's other kinds of bundling that you can do, but core products. But also, I love that they picked a name for it. Like they gave the bundle a special name,
Yep.
which I think is really key.
It is. And like, what is it actually creating? So that experience, right? So we're building the Thanksgiving feast for their dog or cat. So the same thing could go for a Christmas feast or a love, a love dinner, like a dinner for your dog or cat on that special day. Because a lot of times there are our like brand, like our partners in life. So if we don't have a special someone, or even if we do, having like a Valentine's theme, love your pet is just a fun way to honor them as well. So yeah, we like to have fun, but we also like to make sure it's like driving the brand awareness, making sure it's fitting the mission, making sure it's creating an opportunity to try new products and being specific about which categories so that maybe we can get them to come back and buy other things in that category as well. So that's kind of a product focused one. I want to give another example on a service-based brand, like a wellness spa. They could offer a bundle that would be like a holiday relax and renew spa bundle. Doesn't that just sound awesome, Susan?
It does. I want it. I'm ready.
Right? Sign me up. It's really designed, though, to reflect that spa's mission of promoting self-care and wellness. So this bundle could include a signature spa service, so like an aromatherapy massage, but also a take-home item like a mini aromatherapy candle, some bath salts, or like a mindfulness journal that's really popular right now. This lets clients extend the relaxation experience to home. So, which really aligns with that spa's purpose, that mission of promoting self-care and wellness, and also makes them think of you when they're home. So it's again an experience that is far more than just the moment of purchasing. And really an opportunity here would be to increase the brand reach, would be that the spa could collaborate with maybe a local candle store in your district and including their candle in your bundle and cross-promoting with each other. So they would be promoting the spa service in their particular bundle. And this partnership could enhance the bundle's value, obviously, because now you have this extra thing in there, but it also builds brand awareness for both businesses. So it's an opportunity to collaborate and increase your reach and your brand awareness really intentionally so that you can get more exposure and more clients, customers, hopefully.
Yeah, love it. That's really
Another effective approach that you guys have talked about a lot is offering mystery bags, which add a whole different level of excitement and curiosity. I love this idea of curiosity when doing marketing because it really piques people's interest in a different way and also allows them to try things they wouldn't normally try. And the best part about it is it can help manage inventory. So I know we're going to talk about inventory more a little bit later, but the thing that like the example I use for the pet food store, we would do mystery bags at different levels and we would introduce customers to new products and items that vendors also participated in, as well as maybe move some of those things that aren't moving as quickly as we wanted to, and get people to try those things. So it sparks interest. It gets customers to try products they would have normally chosen otherwise. There's a dog version and a cat version. And I do have a little picture of that one too that I wanted to share. And you could see like there's different levels, so they can buy the different level. But we would do like unboxings on lives and show like what was in like an example mystery bag to get more people to be excited about what was in there. Great value for what was in there.
So the different levels that you're talking about, so you're saying like the different price points. So a low
Yeah.
price, a mid price, and a high price point. And so that like the small one has enough products to hit that value level, and so that they could just decide. I think this is so smart, especially at Christmas time, because your Christmas shopper is very price point driven. Like, I'm going to buy something for Aunt Martha for, $40 or something, whatever that number is that they have in their mind. And if they can just get that grab bag right there, that's it. I like price pointing at Christmas. So
Well, you
that
even have a budget, like you're saying a budget, like I want to spend $50, then you have some in that budget right away, because they had 25, 30, and $45 levels. And so that like, those are all kind of within most people's budgets. So think strategically about that too. Like when we do a white elephant, we do a $20 or $25 level. So like think about that too when you're pricing and packaging, so that you're within those budget levels that most people will purchase for.
That is great. I think bundles at the holiday season are super important. And I think you've given us like 3 really, really awesome examples. Retailers, do you have any questions for Beverly about bundling? If you're doing any bundling right now that is working for you, hey, put it in the comments. Share the wisdom, share the experience with your fellow retailers. And India, you can just, butt in if anybody has questions there in the comments for us. So, but I just wanted to give you a chance before we get on to any questions, and also if our panelists have any questions too. But tell us a little bit about your courses that you have on Brilliance, because you have 2 courses on Brilliance, and I have personally watched them and they are fantastic. So you want to tell us a little bit about what you have?
Sure. So I have 2 courses on there now, hoping to get a couple more on there pretty soon. But really, it's about bringing more clarity and alignment to your brand. I really love to bring the passion and the purpose of a business into a very focused and clear experience and vision, because once you have that filter, all decision making becomes much, much easier. So we have a clarity course to help you get really clear about who you are, your why, your vision. And then we have for like a more of an ongoing support, we have the marketing binder course, which is a comprehensive toolkit to keep your messaging consistent, your strategy is really clear, and your brand not just strong for the holidays, but all year long, having a really strategic plan in place, a center for all things marketing.
Yeah, those courses are really, really fantastic. Again, Marketing Binder Bootcamp and the Marketing Clarity Blueprint from Beverly Cornell and Brilliance. Check them out. Indy, were there any questions or comments?
No questions right now.
Okay, and I think Bob's raising his hand.
I have a comment, not a question, just another tip about bundling. If you can do good, better, best in the same genre or in the same theme. So for instance, your Thanksgiving feast, if you have 3 different price points, good, better, best, you're going to sell more of they call it the Goldilocks syndrome, right? Too small, too big, just right. So I'd encourage everybody to think about having 3 price points, because you'll build your average ticket when you have 3 price points.
I love that. I love that. Dan's nodding vigorously. Anything you wanted to add about bundles there for us, Dan?
No, I will just echo that the absolute best pricing strategy in any retail store can be found in a Bed Bath & Beyond. When they want to sell a $600 mixer, they put an $800 mixer above it.
Yeah.
It draws us into, this is the better product. I don't need the best product. But great merchandising examples will always see good, better, best. And in all of our pricing strategies, we have our entry, mid, and upper price points. And they feed a different audience in each of our stores, in different segments within our store.
Love it.
Nothing more powerful than bundles, Beverly. Love bundling.
It's
So,
fantastic.
and if I may share one other thing, another thing that bundling always does, another benefit, is it increases the average ticket. You
Yes.
know, so McDonald's was famous for the add-on question.
Yep.
Everybody knows the add-on question that they quit asking,
Fries.
what,
What
50 years
fries
Yeah.
was
ago,
that?
would you
Yeah.
like fries with that? And then they created the bundle, which
Upsize.
is the value meal.
Yep.
And that they did that to build the average ticket. And sure enough, it built the average ticket. So what do? Then they add on to the bundle by allowing you to supersize it.
Yeah,
So
good, better, best on the bundle. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's exactly right. So
Yeah,
I loved
good.
what you had to say, Beverly. It was great.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, Beverly, any other final things you want to say about bundling or
Only other thing I'd probably add in this is to maybe think of like a give one gift, like give one gift one, like an idea of like taking one for yourself and giving one. So like if you can do like a buy one give one kind of idea as far as your bundling is to maybe have like if there's two, again, to raise that pricing, to raise your average sale. If they can get sold sell two of them more than one, you're doing better. So maybe a little bit of a savings discount to buy two, to like that's another way of like bundling the product, but also increasing that average sale for yourself. And
I like it.
everybody, like if I'm at a spa and I can buy one for myself and gift one and I get a little bit of a deal in the process, I'm all in. So yes.
Well, Beverly, that was the perfect segue. Thank you very much. Little did you know, into Bob's segment of our panel today, he's going to be talking about some holiday selling strategies
Ooh,
and specifically about adding on, which is what you were just
yay.
suggesting. So that's great. So, Bob, you want to start first a little bit about yourself and
Sure. So
then
I'm
head right
Bob
into your.
Nagan, and in 1981, I was 23 years old. I had a new hobby. That hobby was kite flying, and I didn't want to get a real job, so I thought I'd open a kite store because how hard can it be to run a retail store? So for 19 years, my brother Steve and I ran that business, turned it into a multi-million-dollar multi-store chain. And then in 99, Steve came and said, "Hey, you want to sell your share of the company?" And I sold it to him and Susan. You and I started Whiz Bang Retail Training. And I mean, that's really, I'm a passionate advocate for independent brick and mortar retailers. And that's why we're here. I'm here. This is what we do. So, and so today, do you mind if I just go into it, honey? I guess I
Hop right
should call
in.
you honey since this is a professional setting. How
That's
about
okay.
dear?
You can still call me honey. It's all right.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about adding on because adding on is one of the most efficient ways to build your average ticket. Yes, we could talk about a lot of things. We could talk about, selling up and all those things, but adding on is just such a great way. If you and your team, and this is really important, if you and your team add on skillfully, what you're doing is you're doing more with every single customer who comes into your store. And there's three opportunities where you can add on. And this is particularly important and particularly powerful during the holidays. So when we teach selling, for instance, in the Retail Sales Academy, we teach this idea of the perfect purchase, that if you focus on what the customer wants, the customer is more likely to get what they want, and then they're going to be happy what they want with what they got, and they're going to come back. So we call it the perfect purchase. And during the holidays, let's extend that concept to not just having a perfect purchase, but make it about the perfect gift. So keep that in mind, this idea of the perfect gift. So before I start, let me tell you a quick story. So many years ago, when I was in my early 40s, after a lifetime of superior eyesight, I had to get glasses. So I go to my optometrist's office, and they did a great job, and it was all good. And then I get home, and one day my glasses are dirty. And so I say to Susan, and you can see she has glasses. At the time she was wearing contacts. I said, honey, my glasses are dirty. What do I do? I don't want to scratch them up or anything. And she said, they should have sold you some spray cleaner and a cloth, didn't they? I said, no, they didn't. So I get in my car, drive 20 minutes to the optometrist's office, walk in, and I said, can I have a spray cleaner and a cloth? And they said, oh, here, you can have it. I'm like, wait a second. You just wasted 40 minutes of my life. I would have gladly spent $7.99 if you would have just sold it to me. And then a couple weeks later, I said, honey, my glasses are a little wiggly. What do I do? Does anybody see a pattern here? And she said, well,
I do.
should have, hello, I'm a professional speaker. They should have sold you one of those little screwdrivers, didn't they? I said, no, they didn't. So I drive to the optometrist's office. It's 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. They're closed. My head explodes. I drive across town to the superstore and buy the little screwdriver. What's the moral of the story here? The moral of the story is if you're not selling everyone everything they need to have a successful experience, you're not giving them the service they deserve, nor are you getting the money that you should. It's not a perfect purchase. It's not a perfect gift. So understand that when you add on correctly, you are doing your customers a favor. So now let's get to the 3 different places. The first opportunity to add on is during the sale. So somebody comes into your store and they're looking for a gift for their mother. Let's say you're a woman's clothing store and you say, we have some beautiful sweaters, and they like the idea of the sweater. And, you start talking about the sweater. Well, guess what? A sweater by itself might be nice, especially if you sell beautiful sweaters. But if you sell a scarf with it, a necklace with it, a bracelet with it, all of a sudden, you don't just have a sweater, you have an outfit. And so that gift went from good to great. So the first opportunity to add on is when you're selling the person the thing that, the main item, for lack of a better term. So that's the first place, and that's great. So, I'm in your clothing store, Beverly, and you sell me the sweater, the bracelet, the necklace, the scarf. I'm feeling really good about what I'm getting. And then you're walking me to the counter. Now, this is the second place to add on. We call it the transitional add-on, because that space in between that original main item and the counter is filled with opportunities to add on. So all of a sudden we're walking to the counter and Beverly says, hey, have you seen this thing? Or have you heard about this item? And I go, no, I haven't. And so she then gets an opportunity to show me something else, to add on something else. This is a great opportunity. I can't tell you how much stuff I have sold between selling the thing and the counter. So there's all of that space. You've already established a relationship. You've already established trust. You've already become friendly. Now, that transitional space is a wonderful opportunity to add on. And then, of course, at the counter.
I just want to, Bob, I just want to hop in for just one
second.
second.
Sure, of course.
We're getting it to your 10 minutes here, but the transitional question that I love, especially at the holiday time, I don't know, maybe you're going to talk about this already and I'm stepping on your toes, but the question that I love is, hey, who else is on your list? Like,
you mean this question right there?
There you go. Okay, never mind. I'll let you keep talking. Of
so
course.
When Susan and I speak together, or if I'm speaking and she's in the crowd, I call her the peanut gallery, right? So, but I love it because her statements are always spot on. But no, that's exactly right. So let's go out of turn a little bit, because that's exactly right. And so Beverly would say, hey, have you seen this thing? These are the most popular X, or these things are absolutely awesome. And, everybody who's here, think about your own business and think about these opportunities when you do that. So the second place to add on is this transitional add-on. The third place to add on is at the counter, and there is so much money to be made at the counter. You know, at the Mackinac Kite Company, it's now called Mac Kite, but at the Mackinac Kite Company, it was a non-negotiable standard that every single person who came to the counter was shown something. And so we had these silly little toys called whistling balloon helicopters. $1.99, perfect stocking stuffer. I'd get somebody to the counter, I'd blow up the whistling balloon helicopter. You know, it had a balloon and 3 little rotors. I'd let go, it'd go, fly in the air, and people would say, I'll take 3, I'll take 5. And they were in line, you could see people counting. Oh, I'm gonna, by the time they actually got to the register, they were ready to buy 5 or 10. So understand that if you demonstrate something great to every single customer, every single time, a certain percentage of people are going to buy that item. And this is gravy money. You've already done all the work. This is like so efficient. This is such a great use of your selling energy. So those are the 3 different places. And each one of those 3 places, you know, with the main item, in transition, at the counter as an impulse item, or as a point of purchase item, all of them represent opportunities. So if you're watching this, please put in chat, what are your favorite items? Because, you know, it could be candy, it could be lotions, it could be notions. One of the nice things, or something to consider when you think about add-ons, is that it's stocking stuffers are a perfect add-on. And stocking stuffers don't have to be cheap, they just have to be small. So one of our clients, one of our Platinum Mastermind group members, has got 8 premium cigar stores. And once upon a time, a brand new $50 cigar lighter came on the market and everybody wanted them. And so what was Tommy doing? Tommy was just demonstrating this super cool $50 cigar lighter, and he was selling about 1 in 5, if I recall correctly. So 1 in 5 of $50, if my math is correct, that means he was adding $10 to the average ticket there. It's these little incremental things that start to really, really add up over the course of hundreds or thousands of transactions during the holiday. So having said that, let me check my time here. Having said that, 3 questions. 3 questions. And if you're taking notes, I hope you're writing this all down, because you knowing it doesn't do you, it'll do you some good, but this is really about getting this into the heads of your teammates. The first thing, the first question is, this is what you're going to, it's not really a question, it's more a statement. This is what you're going to need with that. So for instance, my glasses story, what the optometrist should have said is, you're going to need spray cleaner and a cloth and this silly little screwdriver for when your glasses get wiggly. You're going to need, when I was in the kite business, we used to sell snap swivels, fishing snap swivels that made it easy for people to attach their kite line to their kites. And I would just say, you're going to need this snap swivel. It's only 25 cents. I think I bought them for 2 cents, but you know, you're going to need. So what you're doing and what your team is doing is thinking ahead for your customers. Remember, if you're not selling them everything they need to have a successful experience, you're not giving them the service they deserve. So when you see something that you must add on, say, you're going to need this. Don't ask them if they'd like it. Say, you're going to need this, and they'll take it 99 times out of 100. Susan already talked about the transitional add-on question, which is, have you seen or do you know about? And then, thank you for letting me shortcut that, honey. And then the third thing, and this is my favorite. This is my favorite. If you're taking notes, Write this down, underline it about 4 times, put some stars by it. This is the question. Who else is on your list, right? What are people doing during the holidays? They're crossing off people off their list. And so if you say, who else is on your list? They probably didn't even think of it. They came in your store because they were thinking of someone. And if you open their mind to the possibility that you have, that you can help them get more people done, you're going to, boom, explode your sales. This is a perfect add-on question. You know, at the Mackinac Kite Company, we used to crush it. So really, when you start to think about this, I learned this from Harry Friedman, who is another retail trainer. He's since retired, but he's got a great quote. Show, show, show until they say no. When people are buying at the holidays, keep selling. My brother Steve used to say to people, hey, give me your list and come back in an hour. You know, that's pretty bold, but he was that kind of salesperson. So
I love that idea of adding on not only just an item, but you're adding on an entire additional gift. So that is awesome, Bob. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
So the 2 courses that you have on Brilliance that I think we want to highlight today, especially around this topic of adding on, we do have one called the Add-on Masterclass, which is all about adding on. And adding on, it's really helping you as owners and managers teach your team how to add on. So Add-on Masterclass, and then there is the entire Retail Sales Academy that goes through all the steps of selling, not just adding on. And it is actually intended for your employees to take that course step by step, learn it, super powerful. So that is awesome. Adding on at the holidays, absolutely critical for boosting your sales. Awesome. Anything else you want to say?
Nope. I just want to say that, having a trained, skilled sales team on the floor, a customer-focused sales team, again, is the most efficient way for you to build your business. Well, there's pricing and sales training, but, and there's other ways, of course, to build your business, but getting the most out of every single customer in the best way, not in a mercenary way, but in the best way is the most efficient way for you to build your business. And, building that service culture that sells is really,
I love it.
a tremendous way
That's
to
great.
build your business.
Good. Beverly.
I
real
just
quick.
want to say that I think you're also building trust because you're learning who they are. So
Yeah.
that idea of really connecting with the customer, I know some people think it's like salesy, but no, you're actually helping them. So this idea of truly like building that connection and trust and giving them what they actually need to help make the holidays less stressful.
Yeah, the perfect
And
purchase,
the
perfect
second
gift.
step of the 6 steps to the perfect purchase is questioning and listening. And really, the best salespeople ask the most questions, listen the most actively, and that gets you to the place where you understand what the customer really wants, and then you get to give them that thing. So that's a great point, Beverly. Thank you.
I love it. Great. Cool. All right. Okay. So we've got bundling. We've got adding on. We're making some money now. What do you think, Dan? We making some money now?
Going to start making a lot more money. I'm going to share
Start making a lot more money.
I'm going to share 2 tips for an owner or manager today that can help you get past this add-on challenge, because it's a challenge in your store. Do this at one of your sales meetings tomorrow. Say to everybody on your team, I want you to go and grab X, a sweater, a shirt, a blanket, a toss pillow, and then say to them, now go and find the 4 complementary items for this piece. The 4 complementary items, not so much add-on. I love the add-on, and especially at this time of year. But really what we're looking for are the things that would have complemented Bob's glasses. And to get them in the habit of thinking about total solutions. It's about them getting comfortable finding the items that are complementary. Here's one more tip to increase your average sale. If you want to increase your average sale by $10, ask everybody on your floor to go out and find their favorite $10 item. Come back to the group and tell me why it's your favorite, and then tell me how many you sold yesterday. You're going to find out that their favorite items in the store aren't the things they're selling. One last one. This is the time of year to sell boot spray, to sell leather protector. And this is the question to ask. Would you like me to spray them here, or would you like to do it at home? Never ask them if they want to buy it. Do you want me to spray it here or spray them at home? Oh, I'd like
I love
to do
it.
it at home.
The choice closing question. That's exactly. I love it. I love it. I just want to share. Aubrey, just one of my team that's listening to the Facebook Live with us today. She just brought me this. This is what comes with your add-on masterclass. This is exactly what we have them do every single day. You put this right on a wipe off poster on the back of your door, and you like pick the item of the day, and you have everybody put their favorite add-ons, and then also point of purchase add-ons. So like every single day they're constantly doing this. So we love that, Dan. That is exactly perfect.
Those are great ideas. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
fantastic. Good. All right. I'm excited to move into our next segment with Dean Correa, because he's got an entirely different look at the Christmas season for us. He's going to help us make sure that all of our favorite bundles and goodies and add-ons don't walk out the door and disappear. Dean, I'm super excited to have you. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. I know you've worked with some of these big retail giants and have had some incredible experience. So tell us
Thank you.
more
Thanks.
about that.
I'm new to Retail Brilliance, and I really love the program, and I'm very excited to present. So my name is Dean Correa. I'm in Toronto. My background is 30 years of being a security practitioner. 20 of those was with the Gap, 4 years in operations, and then 13 with Starbucks, where I had the privilege of building and leading the security teams in Canada and Latin America, and 3 with Walmart as their director of corporate security. And then I've been on my own. I act as an outsourced people and asset protection department for small to medium-sized retailers that don't have them. So my big, hairy, audacious goal all throughout my life and my career is to bring people home safely. I've been involved in 3 workplace murders and 1 workplace death. So that's my big, hairy, audacious goal. Those have shaped me both personally and professionally. So that's why I do what I do. And I'm going to highlight some tips from my retail course that's on Brilliance. It's People and Asset Protection. And you can look for more details online. But I'm going to highlight some tips from that course and would love any comments or questions. So I'm going to be talking about 2 main items: people protection, because they are our most important asset, and when we can replace everything in our stores, but our people, obviously. And the second will be asset or merchandise protection. So I have a question for everyone to start. My family and I absolutely love the Christmas season. Do you know who else loves the Christmas season?
I have an idea.
Criminals.
I think I have an
Criminals.
idea.
When was the last time you watched the 6 o'clock news and didn't see something in your area or in another part of the state or country involving crime? It has escalated, to put it mildly. So they picked the time, they picked the method, they picked the date. It's a business. Don't fool yourself. It's organized. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to make yourself a hardened target, as we say in the business, plus hopefully some things that will benefit you personally and your family throughout the holiday season. So when it comes to people protection, most robberies occur the first half an hour of the day and the last half an hour of the day. So at Starbucks, we interviewed over 200 robbers and asked them this specific question back in the day: why did you target us? Number of reasons. But typically, they happen in the first half an hour of the day and last half an hour of the day because there's less people, including staff in the stores. And I'm a business person. I'm a robber. Why would I rob you at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I'm going to rob you tonight so I can get all of today's money, or I'm going to rob you tomorrow morning so I can get all of today's money. It's math. That's how it works. So you need to really be extra attentive the first half an hour, last half an hour of the day. Do not open your store until the posted business hours and make sure all the cash is away, and then lock it at night. Somebody comes to you at the door after close, talk through the door to them. Don't open the door. There may be some less than respectable reasons they want to come into your store after hours. The number 1 robbery and shoplifting deterrent has been, always will be, legendary customer service. When Sam Walton started Walmart, he implemented the Walmart greeter for one specific purpose. That's to reduce robberies and shoplifting, because Sam knew he wanted people to come in the store unnoticed and leave unnoticed. So he set up the Walmart greeter. It's evolved in many retailers, including Walmart, into many other functions and forms, but that's what you need to do. You need to acknowledge, greet, and deliver legendary customer service. Let them, for a whole bunch of reasons, know that they've been seen and that you're aware that they're in the store. And number three, if there is something that it causes you and your team concern on the sales floor, develop a code word. At Gap or Starbucks, we implemented a code phrase really off the charts. Hey Bob, has that ice order come in yet? Well, we didn't get ice in our Gap stores, obviously, so it's something odd. It's something that's going
Right.
to stand out. So if I'm interacting with this customer and Dan or Beverly hear me say, hey Dan, has that ice order come in yet today? They know immediately to keep an eye on this situation, make sure I'm okay, and if they personally judge that the situation is escalating, they're calling mall security, they're calling 911 before it escalates. So first half an hour, last half an hour, be extra attentive, develop a code phrase to keep everyone on high alert if a situation gets escalated, and deliver legendary customer service. 3 tips to keep you and your teams safer during the holiday season. Let's
I
move
love
to asset
those.
protection.
That's great.
People always ask me, hey, Dean, what's the latest technology? And I said, my number one question when people ask me about new technology, new physical security is, are you using what you have now 100% every day, all day? Why are you
Exactly.
installing that extra camera? Why are you putting in this special lock when, guess what? I've been in your store 5 times and the door's unlocked. Or that camera's, behind a blind spot. It's covered by merchandise or boxes in the back room. Utilize the camera as opposed to buying another camera. Use what you already have. So number one, ask you and your team, are you utilizing your physical security, your locks, your alarms, your safes to maximum? And then think about how to do that every day and ensure that your people are really communicating what's needed out there in terms of if something's broken, get it fixed. Because it's not a fluke that a store gets robbed when the camera that's above the safe isn't working and hasn't been working for 3 days. Or there's 15 deposits in the safe. Well, how did I know that Beverly's store has not gone to the bank for 15 days? Or how did I know that Bob was the one walking down the street with 11 deposits? And I have a better chance of winning the Powerball lottery 7 times in my life than picking Bob walking down the street with 12 deposits in his bag. Doesn't happen. And I've done those investigations. You take a different route, not with your company logo information all over you, and go to the bank at different times. So those are the kinds of information that you can control. The number one merchandise protection tip and one of the top vulnerabilities are your debit and credit card terminals. So this is one key takeaway. Keep those secure. Criminals will pay some staff at some point to turn the other way. I'm going to give you $100, Dan, turn the other way, and I'm going to put my chip in the debit and credit card terminal. And for the next 6 hours, I'm going to steal all those pins, come back at night, give you another $100, Dan. Thanks, you're such a good pal of mine. Take my chip out and put the other, the proper bank chip in. So the number one thing you can do is check your debit and credit card terminals every day. Put some sort of a very unique, very distinctive sticker on the back of the debit and credit card terminal that covers where it opens up. That way you know that sticker's gone, something's happened, you call your bank right away. But it has to be a very distinctive type of sticker that only you as a store manager control, not something that's already regularly in the store.
Yeah, not the little, yellow sticker from Staples. That doesn't work,
Exactly.
right?
Something
Because
much more
anybody
unique.
can get that. They could peel it off and stick it back on again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to recap, use your physical security, make sure it's functioning 100%, and check your debit and credit card terminals every day and make sure there's a sticker on the end. Thank you very
Wow.
much.
That is awesome. Those are some, you know what? I had never, ever considered the idea that somebody would be coming in and stealing the sales directly out of my credit card terminal. I mean, did you see that happen a lot, like at Starbucks? And
It happens, it happens monthly, so that's why a lot of them, one of the biggest risks of the Wi-Fi connected terminals that we all see at restaurants and some retailers, they just walk out the door and I sit in, and I have war stories for days, and I just sit in my car with all these credit cards and I just do refunds in the car, bing, 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 bing. And then the Wi-Fi enabled debit and credit card terminal just happens to all of a sudden reappear in Beverly's store. So There's all kinds of things. 'Cause I've been frustrated. We're all frustrated. We work so hard, right? We hire people, we get great location, best products, best services, customer lines up, and in all that effort, the money doesn't go to the bank. And it's extremely frustrating. It's besides keeping people safe, it's trying to get your profits into the bank is one of the other key reasons of why I do what I do.
Oh, these are some great tips.
That's great tips, Dean.
Indy, do we have any questions for Dean about this, or any other questions that have popped through?
No questions popping up right now. I am going to put the link to Dean's course in the chat though on
Yeah.
theft
Yeah.
prevention.
I
People
like that
and
a lot.
asset
Yeah.
protection, hugely important. So those were some great
So
tips.
can I make a comment? You
Yeah,
know,
please.
Dean, you're sort of showing the other side. You know, I mean, Susan and Dan and Beverly and I can talk about how you grow your sales and, you know, how you manage your inventory and how you market your store. And, you know, I always just think about how you grow your sales and profits, but I've never looked at it from, well, you know,
Gotta keep
probably
them.
the best way to do it is to, you know, plug the hole in your bucket if people are stealing from you.
Yeah,
So
and we all have people we love, right, Bob? So being part of the best place to work is being the safest place to work. You know, there's retailers that my kids will never work at. And the reason is it's just not safe. So don't kid yourselves when being the best place to work is a great and the safest place to work is a very attractive retention and attraction of talent tool because they're telling each other at the dinner table, you know, and if you're not perceived as safe and secure, they're not telling their talented friends to come to work with you. They're just not.
interesting.
I love it. That's a great tip too. So
That's great,
Dean, thank you
you.
so much. That's a lot of like mind-blowing awareness to think about. So that's wonderful. We love it. We love it. And last but not least, we have our wonderful friend Dan Holman from CRS, and he's gonna talk about some great inventory strategies and ways to think about your merchandise.
You look nervous, Dad. You look nervous.
I don't think
You
Dan is.
never done this before, right?
And so Dan, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and
Sure.
tell us what great tips you have for us this holiday season.
Sure thing. All right. Yeah, my name's Dan Holman. I am with Retail by CRS, Canadian Retail Solutions. We are a multi-line point of sale provider in North America. We have 5 or 6 different point of sale platforms that we sell and support for our retailers, large and small. One of the courses that we have on Brilliance is actually just called the POS Toolkit. It really is a comprehensive document, if you will, that helps you choose the right system. And it's important that you're choosing a system that matches your level of sophistication. There are so many platforms out there, and listening to how other people use them is the first mistake that retailers make. It is very much about talking to someone that's a little bit agnostic. We all have our favorites. We all have our favorite children. I get it. But we're going to talk about what's best for your business in your point of sale system. So that's us. It's over there. Always open to chat with anybody about POS, and hope to get you to fall in love with your point of sale system, not the opposite. I don't want anybody.
Wouldn't that be amazing, friends, to be in love with your point of sale system?
And
I don't think that's the experience that the majority.
I'm going to say, Susan, 70% of the audience out there does not love their point of sale system. Yeah. And it's mostly because they don't know how to use their point of sale system, or they don't know the true purpose of a point of sale system. A point of sale system has 2 purposes and 2 purposes only: manage your customer and manage your inventory. That's it. And if you use that system to manage inventory and customer, you have the ability to connect those 2 things, inventory and your customer, which at the holiday is a critical time to do this. Now, I've made a bunch of notes. You guys are so good. Beverly, my gosh, so much good stuff. And Dean's got me scared to death now that my store's not safe enough. I got to go back to my store and make sure it's safe. But when it comes to your point of sale and your customer specifically at holiday, if you want to build bundles, start by looking at the inventory that you have available to create bundles. This is the time of year that the customer expects more value, not greater discounting. It demonstrates itself like discounting at holiday, but this is where they're looking for more value. And value can be created within a bundle. And that information comes right out of the nucleus, the brain of your business, the point of sale system. You know where you have gluts in inventory. You know how old the inventory is. And if you really want to drive sale, focus on the oldest inventory that you have. Now's the time to get it gone. If you want to focus on the popular items, look at your inventory and see what's turning the fastest. Make sure you have enough of that product. If you want to feed the early adopter audience in your store, that's the woman that walks in and buys the latest and greatest and never applies a discount. That's a segment of your audience. And to the degree that we know our customer, we can connect them to our inventory, what we already own. Bob, you've said this a million times. There's two ways to grow sales. Get more customers in your store, get the customers you have to come more often or spend more money, right? I always focus the effort on feed the customers that I already own. They're hungry. They come to my table for dinner. It's my job to feed them. If I want to go and find new customers, I can spend thousands and thousands of dollars to do that. If I want to feed the customers that I have, I will spend hundreds of dollars. There's a big difference. And this is not a flight in marketing. This actually just supports marketing, right? I don't need to go and get a bunch of new customers today. I need to serve the customers that I own. Start by asking yourself, how often does she shop with me? When was the last time she shopped with me? Look at your business, at your customer base in your point of sale system and say, who shopped with me September 23 through December 23 and has not yet been in? Who has not bought?
This is so, I love this, Dan. This is so important because your customer at Christmas time might be different than your customer the rest of the year. That's that gift giver. So I love that you're saying who's shopped specifically in this time period.
Right.
Keep going.
I mean, if
I'm
we
sorry,
know who our holiday shopper is and she's not here yet, I now have a purpose. I have a purpose. I have a reason to reach out to her. It's not, hey, come see what's new in Dan's store. It's, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. I know you trusted me last holiday. Please trust me again. Come and see us. And reaching out to that customer is a significant opportunity. Now, the same opportunity exists when we think about the size of my customer, the coloring that my customer buys from me. You know, we know things about our customer. Our point of sale system, our inventory management, customer management system knows things about our customer that is not top of mind for us today. We've got 8 million things going on. My brain is exploding from all of the things I have to do. Lean on that intelligence that you have to understand what action to take to now get traction. The successful retailer this holiday will accomplish connecting their existing inventory to their existing customer. I promise you, this happens year over year over year over year. And next year, those customers that we connected to this year will be part of our fold next year. And not next year as in next holiday, I mean January. And I'm going to say this, this has just been so in the forefront for me. Everyone says always be closing, always be selling, always. I believe in always be serving. Now, Dean, no one has said it better. Legendary customer service. If your focus is to serve her, sales will follow. They always do. The other thing that's important to remember. Yeah, Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, so one of the mantras that we share in the Retail Sales Academy, and it goes back to this idea of asking lots of questions to get them to the perfect purchase, is the more you know, the better you serve. The better you serve, the more you'll sell. So, you know, it's just about, you know, asking good questions, getting them into the right merchandise, that sense of service. You know, we call it great selling is great customer service. So I just needed to chime in because I couldn't agree with you more.
You're spot on. Exactly. And when it comes to this, I'm buying for someone else. The question that you must ask, tell me about them. Oh, I've got to buy something tell me about them. And this is why. Because as they start to describe their nephew, you are instantly connecting them to your customer. Remember, 6 out of 10 customers that walk through your door fit in the same 3-sided box. Same geo, same demo, same psychographic. 6 out of 10. The majority of the people that walk in your store fit in that same box. So you know someone that is a representation of her nephew. And so now you can better connect your product to that problem that exists. And it is a problem. It's a mission that she's on. You know, who else is on your list? Tell me about them. What's their favorite color? You know, are they athletic? Are they a hobbyist? Are they? Go ahead, Bob.
So now I can't help myself, Dan. I'm sorry. I just can't help myself. So the 3 magic words. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just adding on to what you just said. The 3 magic words are tell me more.
Yes.
So you're doing all the things that you're talking about, and you say, tell me more. She's that age, tell me more, tell me more. And every time you say tell me more, you learn more, and to your point. So I won't jump in anymore.
No, you can jump in all you want. I mean, your goal is to say 3 words to get 10 back, right? I live in this 30-10
That's a great
rule.
way to say it.
3 words get me 10 back. What 3 words or 4 words can I say that get me 10 or 15 back so that I have the ability to listen more than I speak? Nobody cares how much we know until they know how much we care. Beverly, go ahead.
I just want to take it back to that. You're right. Listening is key, and like getting the more words back, because you're building trust and you are connecting. And I think when you are serving, that's what you want to be doing, is building trust and connecting with your customer. So so good. Yes.
Yeah. And so I just bring this all the way back to point of sale. You know, that information about your existing customer, it sits there. You know what size she bought, you know the last time she came in, you know how much she spends, you know what your average sale is. All of that is sitting idle in your system. It's not meant to be idle. It's not meant to be an information store. It's meant to be an action store. It propagates actions. When I analyze something, it creates an action. Hey, here's a list of customers that haven't been in this month. Well, it's a little early this month, maybe not, but here's the customers that haven't been in since October. Guess what they don't know? They don't know what's new in your store.
Yeah.
And if they're an early adopter or a popular customer or even a sales seagull, my gosh, this is the time where we embrace the sales seagull and we give her our leftover fries. I mean, this is the time of year to do that. And it all sits there in your point of sale system, waiting for you to ask the question.
I love it.
Who has it?
I love it. So Dan, if
great.
somebody during the holiday season really wants to mine that untapped action in their point of sale system, what are the I'm going to give you 2. What are the 2 questions they should be asking of their point of sale system? What are the 2 things they need to be doing to get that good juicy data?
So the very first thing you want to do is just run a customer sales report by last purchase date. What's their first purchase date? When did they first buy from me? And when did they last buy from me? What's the gap in there? You know, if they're a 5-year-old customer and the last time they bought, 5 years, they've been a customer of mine. They've got repetitive purchases for the last 5 years and they haven't been in the last 90 days. We have a problem, Houston.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity to go and talk to her. So run your sales by customer purchase date. The other thing that's critical at this time of year, run an aged inventory report. When did I land it and when did it last sell? The older the merchandise today, the more opportunity there is for you to add value into her purchase, because that inventory that's now 120 or 180 days old is not worth what you paid for it.
Nope.
Let's turn it to cash because we're going to need it in February. And we don't need that inventory in February. And we certainly don't need last year's February. So run an aged inventory report so that you know what to get out of. The other thing that I think people miss at this time of year is their replenishment inventory. If you live in a commodity-driven store, home and gift, you're selling candles and soaps, and those are consumable goods. Knowing the last time someone bought a candle tells me the next time they need to buy a candle. Like, there is so much good information. And yes, this can be labeled as clienteling, but it's really just data mining. It's just mining the intelligence that fits in your store today. And if you want to move the needle, just start connecting inventory to the customers you have. That's it. It's just that simple. If you've got
I love it.
Great.
I love it. Really
12 customers. That's simple.
Super fantastic. And guys, if you are not in love with your point of sale system, definitely check out Dan's course. It is the POS toolkit, and it's like
Yeah,
super
if you don't
simple
love your point of
checklist.
sale system, call me
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
I'll
was
tell you
gonna
whether you
say,
should love it or shouldn't love it.
Okay.
Because there are some that are just
That's fantastic.
POSs. There are some that are pieces of it. I mean, that's the way it is. It's because it's the wrong solution for you. We
Right.
need to know what solution is right for you. And you should
I
love
and I
your
just want to
system.
put a plug in too. You know, we've known Dan for a long time, and you know, when it comes to, you know, point of sale systems and platforms, you know, this happens all the time on our Whizbang Retailers Facebook group. People say, "Oh, what do you think about? What do you think about this? You know, this POS, that POS." I always chime in. Yes, the Whizbang Retailers is a great place to gather information, but don't you dare make a purchase until you talk to Dan and, you know, his colleagues, because you need to talk to a pro. The decision is too important to, you know, do it
Right.
on hearsay. So
Shopify's
anyway.
job is to sell you Shopify. Lightspeed's job is to sell you Lightspeed. And Retail Pro will sell you Retail Pro. That's not my job. My purpose is to make sure that you have the solution that fits your business, not sales quotas.
I love it. I love it. That is fantastic. Thank you guys all so much. You have like given our audience just so many great ideas. I think everybody's going to check their credit card machines and add a sticker on the bottom. Like today, that was
That one blew my
amazing.
mind, Dean. That was
That was so great, Dean. I love it. I love it. I love it. And building out their bundles and creating their list of add-ons. So I hope everybody really, really goes into Black Friday and into their holiday season with some great tips from today. And if you've got any questions or comments, now's the time. Andy, do we have anything from the Facebook chat at all that questions we need to answer?
I don't have any questions, but I have a question for all of you. Just curiosity. How soon is too soon to start your Black Friday sale?
Ooh. Dan?
Yesterday?
yeah.
I mean, I think about it like this. If you look at the calendar today, Black Friday will not represent the 40 or 50% of November business that it has historically. And if you're waiting for Black Friday to do 50 or 60 or 70% of your November sales, you're going to miss your goal. You have to start early. And that does not mean you have to be 70% off. My gosh, please don't go 70% off, right? We don't need to be department stores. We need to feed our customers value. And we can create value today. And we should have a plan that is driving traffic in our store right now. And so Black Friday sales, I mean, look, Pink Friday is 2 weeks from now, 1 week from now. Then we roll into Black Friday. There is a lot of opportunity to just talk to your customer. Holiday shopping started last week. I don't know if you guys are watching what's going on in the stock market right now. Spending started happening last week. We are on this great upward trend in spending. So start right now. Please start now. Don't wait.
Exactly. We always talk about a holiday preview sale as a great like pre-holiday. Like that's the beginning for a lot of people. That's the beginning of their Black Friday sales. So Beverly, what do you think about how early should we be starting our Black Friday sales or holiday sales?
You walk into Lowe's and the different places and you see Christmas stuff up already, like it's already there. Like a lot of our clients will start like previewing, like you talk about, Susan, in October.
Yep.
Like advent calendars and things like that. They're already saying pre-order, get it hot, you know. So that's already like in mid-October, usually. Like that, like you start sneak peeking it, dropping it, like doing unboxings, like you start really getting people excited about it so that when it does hit, it's like it's there, you know. So they're already like primed for the purchases for the holidays.
I love it. Dean, you have anything you want to chime in on that question?
Yeah, I have a different view than most. So my answer is November 12th. I don't think we should do it before Halloween. Some retailers who shall remain nameless already got TV ads before Halloween.
Yeah.
And I absolutely think it needs to be after Veterans Day or Remembrance Day in Canada. I have a very strong opinion on that. I think we need to respect our veterans and not launch anything until November 12th.
There you go. That's a great
There you
answer.
go.
Bob, how about you?
So, so I would go with Dan and Beverly and Dean. I respect what you have to say, and I think that you can make Veterans Day a special occasion in the context of all this. But the thing that I want to chime in on is this idea of holiday share. And we talk about that a lot, like when we do Holiday U and things like that. And I don't know whether we created this, whether I created this concept, or whether it's been around. But anyway, it's this idea that if Dean is going to spend $100 in the holidays, but the question I need to ask myself is, how many of those dollars do I need, right? Or can I get?
Can you
And
get?
so
Yeah.
by starting early, and it doesn't, to Dan's point, it doesn't have to be store-wide discounts. It just needs to be a skillful activity that engages your customers and get them in the store. But the more of those holiday dollars that you can get from your customers, the better your holiday season's going to be. And it really starts, and again, it shouldn't be discount driven. It should be about skills. It should be about value. It should be about connections and relationships. But that's why we started this whole holiday preview sale back at the Mackinac Kite Company. We were doing Black Friday before there was Black Friday. We thought we were pretty smart back in the day. When in actuality, we just needed cash. So
right. And Bob, I think that the secret is really about product presentation and price, right? And before you get to the third P, before you get to price, you have to ask yourself, how and who am I presenting this offer to? You see, most of us get lost in presentation when we think about how it's displayed in the store versus who am I presenting this to? Don't send a store-wide 60 off sale to your top customers. That's not when they buy. They buy full price new merchandise. So it's about who we present to before I ever worry about getting the price. And Dean, I am 100% aligned with you. Today's November 12th. And if I'm a Canadian store and I've celebrated yesterday, I am moving hard into holiday today. And this holiday selling is just that. It is just holiday selling, not holiday discounting.
Exactly.
I think if people want discounts, they're not walking into our store.
You bring up a good point, because in the US, you've already had your Thanksgiving.
Right.
Right? We still have our Thanksgiving coming up. So yeah, for you guys today, you can be full holiday. We're still in this in between kind of wait for Thanksgiving and then moving in. So I think
you just have to remember that your time frame after Thanksgiving is significantly shorter this year than last year.
Yeah, very short.
25% less. So I have to come up with a strategy to make that up.
Yeah, good. You guys, this has been a fantastic panel. I thank you guys all so much for your time. And for everybody who's watching, please go check out the courses that have been created by these amazing retail experts with, giving their wisdom and their thoughts and ideas and sharing all the amazing pieces of knowledge that they've gained over the years. So check them out on Brilliance. They've got tons of great courses. And we will see you in just a couple of weeks when we do our next live. Thanks a lot.
And thank you guys for being here with us. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Pleasure.
Yep.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.